everybody, this is Christine, your gallivanting gal from Gallivanting Gal Travel. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, travel gear. And I'm going to be looking at two Briggs Riley suitcases and comparing them for you. The first is the BRX Explorer Domestic Carry-On 2-wheel. And the second is the Baseline International Carry-On 2-wheel. So let's dive right in. First of all, a couple of things about both of these suitcases. The Explorer is a domestic carry-on, which means the dimensions are for the United States carry-on requirements, whereas the Baseline that I have is the international version, so it is outside the United States carry-on requirements. What I will go over, though, applies to both domestic and international versions. So things like the weight and how much it holds are actually very similar whether you get the domestic version or the international. Another thing I want to mention before we look at each suitcase is the fact that I got the two-wheeled versions. So one of the things that they mention when you buy your suitcase is that the wheels are actually tougher if you get a two-wheeled version. When you get the four wheels, they tend to be a lower quality wheel, so they may not last as long. So I went with two-wheeled, but each of these both come in four-wheel spinner, they call it, spinner versions as well. Another great feature of Briggs & Riley suitcases, so I went with Briggs & Riley because they are the highest rated in quality, in durability. They also have a really good return or repair policy. So if you need to send them in, you have to pay the shipping to send them in, but they will repair them free and send them back to you. The other thing that's great about these, the handle that's on the outside for both versions is on the outside of the suitcase. So it's not inside the suitcase and taking up space where you want to be putting all your clothing and everything. And finally, both suitcases do come with a strap to attach another bag. So in the front of each, this one has a strap built right in, and the little piece here at the top hooks right in here. This one works slightly differently. It's right at the top here, and I can pull it out and just attach another bag here. So you can roll two bags at once. Okay, so those are the features that are similar to both suitcases. Now let's take a look at each one. I'll go ahead and start with the BRX Explorer Domestic. So a few features of the bag I want to point out. It does have these straps here on the side to lock it closed once you've filled it up. They also act as compression straps, so if your suitcase is a little big, it will help bring it down. This suitcase also has a pocket in the front here. It's actually decent size, probably fit passport or paperwork, things like that. There's also a little pocket here on the top that you can see my whole hand fits in as well, that has a little bit more space in it. It's also got this bright green fabric, which makes it really easy to see inside it. The front pocket in this suitcase, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of because it is a laptop pocket. It does unzip very far, which is great. There is another pocket here, which just goes down probably about 5 inches. And then inside the front pocket is your laptop pocket. So this is a padded, it's not really that padded, it's a little bit thick, but it's supposed to hold your laptop. Now, my biggest concern about this pocket is that it is right at the edge of the suitcase. So if it's gonna get tossed around, if you're gonna check this bag, I wouldn't wanna put my laptop here. However, if you're gonna carry it on and it's gonna be your only carry-on, it's useful to have a laptop pocket. Let's open up the inside. This pocket, this is actually a compression zipper. So if I unzip this and have a little bit more space when I'm packing, and then when I'm done packing, I can zip it back down. Once I've zipped the suitcase closed, I can zip it back down so that it takes up less space as well. Now when you open it up, there's two pockets in the lid section. And another thing that bothers me about this suitcase is that they open sideways. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have them open around the top. The other one you can see through a little bit. I'm not sure if it's entirely waterproof. It doesn't say that in the information. I get the feeling that it might be just due to the material here. So you can see it's got this sort of mesh. It's actually clear, so you can see through it. But again, it opens on the side. Finally, we have the inside compartment here. So let me tip this up. Okay, so the capacity of this suitcase ranges from 3,085.5 cubic inches to 3,267 cubic inches, or 50.6 to 53.5 liters. The reason for the range that they give you is because of the compression. So depending on if you zip that zipper on the outside, will give you a little bit extra capacity if you don't. Let's talk about the rest of the specifics of this particular suitcase. So this is, again, the BRX Explorer Domestic 2-wheeled carry-on. It is $320. The dimensions are 21 inches tall by 14 inches across by 8 inches deep. The weight is 7.3 pounds or 3.3 kilograms. Again, the pros of this suitcase are that it does have a laptop pocket. It has 2 quick access pockets on the front and at the top that I mentioned. And it has that plastic pocket inside for wet items. The cons to this is that the internal pockets do open sideways. The laptop pocket is near the outside, so I'm not sure how safe that is, especially if you're going to check the luggage. I find that the rounded corners on this suitcase at the top are pretty annoying, especially if you're going to use packing cubes. And one other thing I haven't mentioned is that there is no place here for suits or dresses, so there's no suitor in this. And so if you're traveling for business or something like that, this may not be the piece of luggage for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Baseline International. Okay, so this is the Baseline International. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the pockets on here. So again, this one also has a front pocket. The lining is orange instead of bright green, but it's small. You know, this is again something you might put your passport in. It does have one other pocket on the outside, just like the other one does, except it's in a different spot. So again, your luggage tag is here on the back, but the other secondary pocket is here on the back. It goes pretty far down. Okay, and then the other front pocket here is not a laptop pocket, and it's a lot thinner. It does have, let's see if I can see, you can see down inside. It does have 2 pockets inside. It's just that the secondary one, here we go, it's not padded at all. So it's just thin. I don't think it's meant specifically for a laptop. I don't think it would hold as much stuff in here, which I prefer because I want more capacity inside the suitcase. Okay, let's take a look inside. So inside this suitcase, you'll notice there is not a secondary zipper on this one for compressing, and that is because it has a special type of compression unit inside. Okay, so inside the suitcase, we have this little mesh pocket, and then in here we have the suitor. And I actually use this pocket for intimates as well, because there's not a specific, some people might use packing cubes for that though. So you can see in here, it folds all the way out. There is a hook here that you can undo, and you can hook on hangers for your suits. For me, I put my dresses in here, and then once you put the hangers on, you just loop this over and that holds it down. And then when they lay down, they have this piece right here, which unsnaps. So you can put it around, for me it'd be for around my dresses. And then what you do, put it all the way down, and then you can fold them up in here so that they hopefully don't get too wrinkled. There's also this strap here, I skipped, but you'd also strap them down in here. So that is very useful, especially if you're traveling for business. Now we have the main compartment here, and again, let's flip this up. It's got the compression section, so you can pack everything down. This one's a little different. It's 2 panels that snap together as opposed to the BRX Explorer, which is just 1 panel that you strap over it. But again, it does have elastics on each side so that you can strap it down. So the other cool feature about this suitcase is its compression feature, which has a fancy marketing name that I don't remember the name of. But what it allows you to do is there's a little pull panel in here that allows you to pull this up, and one on the other side as well. So now you load this up, and you can see it expanded it by probably at least 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches. And so you can load this up a lot more than the other suitcase. And then you would zip it down, zip the suitcase, and then you just push. And you can hear that ratcheting sound. That's compressing the luggage. So this one will hold anywhere from 2,722.5 cubic inches to 3,569.5 cubic inches, or 44.6 to 58.5 liters. So what I believe they mean by that larger number, that's when the entire expansion piece is expanded. Once you collapse it down, it's the 2,722.5. I have heard some rumors online of the compression system breaking. I don't know how violent people are being with it or how much they're trying to put in here. There's still limitations, obviously, to how much luggage you can fit in a suitcase. But they do repairs. You can send the suitcase in and they'll repair it if you do have issues with it. So additional information about this suitcase. This is a more expensive suitcase. So it is $500. It is 21 inches tall by 15 inches across by 9 inches deep. And that's the international version, obviously. The domestic version is more similar to the dimensions that I listed. The pros, I think, to this suitcase are that it has a suit and dress section, or a suitor. It has the compression section, so you can get more into this piece of luggage, I find, than the other one. There are the 2 quick access pockets at the top and on the back. Couple of cons for this suitcase is that there is no separate pocket for intimates. So on the other suitcase, there were some pockets up at the top for that. But I do just put them in the suitor there, and there is no laptop pocket, which to me is not really a con because I usually carry another bag in which I put my laptop anyway that I keep under the seat. All right, so let's bring them both back up here and talk about recommendations. So for your information, I'll put the statistics back on the screen so you can see the differences between the 2 suitcases. But I will tell you that for the BRX Explorer Domestic, I think this is best if you have a smaller budget, you just have a single bag, and you're a casual traveler. For the baseline international model, I would say that this is best for business trips and also for longer trips in which you need a larger capacity. So it's more likely when I take off on my trip to Europe in a couple of months, I'll probably be bringing the international. Also, this is the international dimensions, so it'll fit on international flights. But again, you can get either model in either domestic or international. So I hope you found that a helpful comparison of the 2 suitcases. If you're planning to purchase either of these suitcases, I have included Amazon affiliate links down below. If you're not familiar with those, they allow me to get a little commission if you purchase through Amazon, but they are at no additional cost to you. So you'll find those links down below in the description. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please comment down below. I will be happy to answer them and give you more details if there's something I may have missed. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be adding more reviews of travel gear in the future. So thank you for joining Gallivanting Gal, and please stay tuned.